to do one for Chevy. Hey guys, welcome to the show. I'm just over here arguing with one old man about what he's gonna do.
Are you gonna take that?
I'm not arguing with him, Kevin.
Oh. Well.
What are you trying? Is there two of us?
That's it.
We've been discussing our family tree.
We
Well,
have been.
my family tree.
It's
Does-
been fun.
Liz called me a half-wit.
Well, at first I was like, well, maybe you've lost all your wits, but he's like, no, just half of them.
And that would make me a half-wit.
Exactly.
And I say that I can make sense of that because, you know, considering my family, I've got a brother named Dim and a sister named Nit. And that just falls right into place.
And this tree and the apples are just right around the base of this tree.
Yeah.
They didn't
They
go
all
very
fell
far at
real
all.
close. It's like there's a moat around it.
Anyway,
The floating half-wits. Tony, you missed all the fun of getting this going.
at least
I
we're on
didn't miss anything.
we're on
I'm
par
eating
with
jerky.
the level of your humor.
We are.
Childish.
Correct.
I had other thoughts in mind. But
Oh.
that's probably a good description.
I'm trying to keep it PG, Kevin.
Mine started with an S, but
All right, well, guys, we are getting towards the end of the month. We had to do a couple little switcheroo things here. So we were doing trading cards on this Wednesday. Friday, we will have a roundtable discussion, which Kevin will also be thrilled to be a part of.
I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
He doesn't know if he's going to do that. We'll see what
I'm gonna
Friday
do something
brings.
different because it needs a bigger piece of leather.
You just do what you want to do, Kevin.
So Chevy, these are your cards.
Oh,
Yes.
This is the Chevy trading card special.
He might not want them.
So
He's getting them, whether he wants them or not.
correct. He's
They're
getting
going
them.
to his address anyway.
They're going all the way to the west side of Nebraska.
Yeah. All right, he sent me a really nice flowered one, so that's what I'm going to send him. It might not be so nice, but it's going to be flowered.
Well,
Yes, Michael, I have it. And Thomas, I did watch your video. I did. I did also try to find your Facebook profile, but I was not successful. I wanted to verify that I had the right video, but I was not able to do that. So, but I did.
this is gonna be about the simplest thing.
Well, don't tell Chevy that. Tell him you're putting
This
your
is
heart
gonna
and
be
soul
one of the
into
most
it.
complicated things I've ever done.
Thank you.
And I'll never do it for anyone else ever again.
That's right.
Was that okay?
That was beautiful. Thank you for your words.
Honesty?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you were gonna say?
Patronage.
Yeah.
Patronizing.
Sheesh. Oh.
I almost said eulogy, but I was like, I don't think that's the right word.
It's about time for that, but I don't think quite yet.
I think most of us in this room feel like we're about ready for that.
Yeah.
Man.
The old
This-
people and the young, all alike, we're all
This
ready
is
for it.
The last trading cards we'll do this year.
It is. This is the last trading card of 2024. Chevy wins.
The way I feel,
lot.
it could be my last trading card. But
Oh!
hopefully not.
That makes more sense, Thomas. That makes way more sense. I was like, I don't understand why I'm watching this.
I
I
don't
was like,
either.
it's cute, but I didn't get it.
She was talking about a different video, Kevin, not this one.
Oh.
That one. Okay. I understand. It was, okay. It was very adorable. You and your city put on quite the show.
Well, hopefully we can impart
Hello.
something. I gotta have my phone on, but not for that.
Oh, goodness. So, Kevin, what are you doing over here?
All I am doing is squiggling.
Squiggles are fun.
Yeah, that's it. It's just squiggles, nothing complicated. It's, I'm just
No, it's super complicated. Chevy, these are the most complicated squiggles you're ever going to see.
far away I can get into squiggles here. Yeah, I forgot. This is super complicated. Oh, thanks for the reminders, Liz.
You're welcome.
I don't know what I'd do without you.
I
well,
have no
yeah,
idea what you would do without me.
It would, never mind
There would be no personality in this whole place.
That's right.
That's correct. It would have been a really boring last 13 years with no Liz. There would have been no drama.
13 years?
Yeah,
No
sir.
wonder I'm tired.
Yeah, me too.
Man.
That's longer than you go to school. If
Longer
you
than a lot of
if you
people
just
do.
graduate high school.
Hmm.
I mean, it's exactly 13 years if you count kindergarten.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, sorry to disappoint, but I am right.
I have been in school as long as I've worked here. Well, I did do a couple years of college, but I don't really count that.
What
Chevy says
college
poor
would-
Denny has to sit between these two.
I
I'm minding
think-
my own business here.
I think they teach that kind of stuff anymore. How
What?
to put up with difficult people.
It's called
It's called anger management.
HR.
Well, okay. I get it.
Maybe it's called How to Deal with a CEO. Or a founder.
Hmm.
Mm.
I guess it's possible.
Laurel said, maybe it's Laura. I think it's Laura L. Nelson. She says, finger carving is my favorite.
Carving?
What you're doing?
Oh,
Finger carving.
finger carving.
Hayden wants to know where we get our Landis hook needles. Do we have
Or
those?
Jerk needles.
Jerk
Or
needles,
jerk
yeah,
needle.
Didn't we get those from? We got them from Colonial at one time, but I don't think they have them anymore.
Yeah, I'm not 100% Hayden. I don't order, well, I mean, I order some things, but that's not one of it.
Pizza, bundt cakes.
I mean, we could probably look it up.
Pizza would be pretty delicious.
Does Weaver sell those things? They may.
Ah, probably. Probably.
That's one of those things that
Campbell Randall probably sells them.
that might
Don't
have been
they
where we
handle-
got them.
You don't want to get them from us, Hayden? We sell them. You could get them from us. I need different sizes. We get them from that company in Kansas City, Kevin.
Oh,
Do they deal with people?
I don't know.
Okay.
What size do you need?
You talking about Canomas?
Yes.
I think they do deal with people. I think.
We get them, and there's a company in Kansas City called Konomos, starting like with a K.
They're,
I don't know what quantity you'd have to buy.
I don't know if they deal with individuals. You know,
Yeah.
they're pretty much set up for nothing but the shoe industry.
Yeah, that's their main gig. Kevin, look at this. Isn't this fantastic?
Oh my gosh.
How fun is that?
I'm in awe.
You're in awe.
There's the sarcasm is dripping.
It's wonderful. I like it. It's very nice.
So that was the valet tray. Denny oiled all of these this morning.
Yeah, they're still a little.
Look at
They
that.
haven't set
Oak
well.
leaf and acorns. Look at those acorns.
Acorns.
And we've been, so, Denny, look, they do stack. Oh, here you go
I'm
back.
sorry.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, see, they do stack. Hold on. Boop.
This is our attempt at Aztec temple carving.
Correct. And then when you look at all of the tops, which is actually quite fun, it does look like a,
Aztec-y temple.
uh-huh. That's exactly what it looks
It's
like.
a little bit pagoda-like too.
Yes. Very pagoda. So like Japanese, like
Well,
a
they're all related.
little
Yeah.
roof. So, in any case, you guys should all make these. Tony, Brian should have sent you those tooling patterns yesterday.
Sure.
So if he did that, then I want that bowl, says Chevy. I know, isn't it fantastic? The tooling patterns for the ones that we actually did carving for, and when I say we, I mean Denny, like always, because otherwise we just
Hey,
like
you
basket
did some,
weaved them.
You did some carving.
I did.
You did.
I cut some things with a swivel knife. So that
And
actually
it looks
looks
wonderful.
really lovely. I'm not mad about that. So anyways, everybody buy circles from us, and then you can make your own Aztec tower pyramid situation or pagoda roof. It does remind me when I was at Epcot.
What size did Hayden need?
I think a 6 or a 7.
Well, I mean, we have the 6. We have it on the 6. Maybe. Yeah. 223-6.
William says, I don't know what I said, but at some point I must have said "ah" about something, and he said, "No, you're in Springfield. Ah is farther east."
That's related to that place in Kansas.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's it?
Oz.
Oh.
We're not there
Well,
anymore.
maybe it wasn't Kansas. Maybe it was where they were trying
No,
to
she
get
wanted
to.
to go back to Kansas.
Ah, okay.
Yes, she was
She was
transported
in
to Oz from Kansas.
Well, that's where the gateway is.
Correct.
You
No, it's
gotta.
in St. Louis. It's in an arch shape.
You know, this has potential to really go downhill.
Are you clipping over there, Isaac?
But Dandy, we have everything. This is an 18-inch circle.
I believe
So
it's
this is the
18.
biggest circle that we sell. I had Denny cut all of them. So this is an 18-inch circle all the way down to, I think, a 5 or maybe a 6.
I didn't even bring that small one because it wouldn't
Okay.
stack. I
So
didn't
we
bring
start,
it.
this is an 18. Actually, okay.
And they go down in 2-inch increments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kevin, look what I found. Isn't it pretty?
Well, yeah, it's lovely. What is it?
It's just a valet tray. But
kind
this,
of-
oh, it's
kind
like
of a lily.
like a calla lily.
Oh,
Yeah.
a calla lily.
Those ones that are like a trumpety looking thing.
Yeah,
And then I don't know, I just found it on the internet.
I think I have one of those somewhere.
Have you tried the Taris? Oh, the trays with a triangle. No, I haven't done a triangle. A triangle could be fun.
Have we done a hexagon one?
Oh. I did, well, those little teeny ones I was making for the coasters.
You know, Denny, it has just occurred to me that there is a profound principle to successful leather tooling.
What would that principle be? Because I need to gain that principle.
It is called doing the same thing over and over again.
Well,
I
I
think they have a
keep,
shorter way to say that.
I keep telling people that, and they say, "Why
Okay,
don't you do
repetition,
this?" And
how
I'm
was
trying
that?
to
One
figure out
word.
how to do what I'm trying to do.
And you said just do it
Yeah, repetition and practice.
over and over and over again.
Well, see, I was simpler than what you said because repetition equals practice, so there.
We're both right this time. Somebody wants to see the inside of your tray close up.
Okay. And it's 4 snaps. You got one on each side. Look how that came out. I think it's quite lovely.
Side note: use class or line 24s.
Line 24 snaps in the corners because those hold
Line
better.
20s ain't got hold.
I mean, yeah. So like this is
Well,
a
you
line
know-
20, and they do.
Well, you know, there's a guy that wrote. I'm not sure who it was, but I hope you're listening because I took your advice. He said to pinch the one part of it in a little bit, and they will hold better. And I did that,
Yeah.
and they do hold
Kind
better.
of pinch farther.
Yeah.
Yeah, so line 24 snaps, and then Denny was like, get it more wet than we were getting it when we were doing the video.
Yeah.
So after we had done, like 2 of them, I think we had molded up in here, he went back and he was finishing them out, and he was like, don't be afraid to soak it a little bit longer.
Yeah, it takes longer to dry, but
Yeah. This one is an 18-inch circle. So this one right here is an 18, and then they go down in 2-inch increments. So 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8.
Latitude is on a plane watching us.
So fancy.
on a plane.
How can you see out the window that far when you're up that high?
Great eyesight.
Just wave as you go by.
I don't get it. Modern technology is just a bit over my head, I guess.
So is
That's
that
fair.
airplane.
Man, it had to be a really big hexagon.
What, to look out the window?
Yep.
Hmm You need those bee eyes with those hexagon
Beehives.
pupils.
Oh.
Hexagon pupils.
Don't they have hexagon pupils?
They have
You
rectangular
got a,
ones.
you got a bigger mule's foot than I got here?
I got a real big one.
This one?
That's pretty big.
That's the choice you have.
I don't want it. Thank you.
You want a smaller one?
I have a smaller one. Maybe I'll just use something else.
Okay.
There is no written rule anywhere that states you must use a larger mule foot.
Hi, Omar.
So, maybe I'll just totally go
Ozzy and
off
William.
the charts.
Yeah.
I think the triangle tray sounds really, I think that sounds fun.
A triangle?
Yeah.
I've got one of these things. Maybe I could use this instead.
So the 18-inch circle ends up being just under 13 inches, like from edge to edge, after you get it molded up. And he says pretty tall. Like over like 2.5 inches deep.
That's terrible.
So I believe that pupils come in 4 different styles, like shape.
Okay.
Circular, subcircular, and slit. It could be vertical or horizontal slit.
Well, what are bug eyes? I thought that they had different, like they had like grids. You know, like when you look at a bee, not a bee eye, but like a fly.
Well, I don't think that's a pupil.
Okay, my bad. I used the wrong word. That is my bad. Words matter.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I can't comment on a fly eye. They don't have pupils.
Well, what kind of an eye does a bee have?
I'm asking you right now.
Thank you.
Of eye.
For Pete's sakes.
Bee.
Are you going to tell us, Andy, what kind of pupils or what kind of eyes bee have?
Bees are made up of compound eyes.
Thank you. Are they hexagons?
Bye, Andy. The bees have unique eyes that make them different from any other type of bees and insects. Bees have 5 eyes in total, 2 large eyes and 3 smaller ones. Each set of eyes carries its own unique function, such as detecting shape and seeing UV markers from flowers. Can we keep going? They have hexagon eyes.
Oh, darn.
Thank you. That's all I needed. I'm good. I didn't know they had 5 eyes. Did you guys know that bees have 5 eyes?
No. I knew that flies had millions.
Did you say
of
5 or
thousands.
more?
5.
That's an odd number.
Yes. Well, probably 5 eyes on each side.
You think?
You know,
You think it's 10
my
eyes?
problem is, having considered this thoroughly, I don't remember that I ever cared about it.
I
Thorough
don't remember asking you
consideration,
if you
huh?
cared.
Well,
We're here to gain knowledge.
oh, well then what are we doing here with you?
I'm
Hey,
reading from Google, Kevin.
Oh,
how do you make red cabbage? What's your red cabbage recipe? We got somebody that's at home making red cabbage.
food dye. Did that work?
I think you probably start with just red cabbage
Oh,
Yeah.
or like the purple cabbage.
well that's a lot easier.
Check out this sweet basket weave, Kevin. Look how cool that is.
Check out the hoop.
I like this one. It's a
Oh
clean.
my gosh, that's lovely.
It's a clean basket weave. You know what we should do in one of these? We should do the Ed LaBar basket weave swirl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would look really
Yeah.
cool. Because it's a circle. You could just do the whole tray.
Yeah.
Then he says, don't put that on me.
I forgot how to do it, but I'll
I'll
study
remember
it
one day.
again. I'll figure it back out. I might call Ed.
You should. You should see how Ed's doing.
Yeah. I haven't heard from Ed in a
Isn't he
long
down in
time.
Florida? Or is
Yes.
he Georgia?
He was in Florida. That's where he was the bear man, I believe.
Well, I hope he made it through all the storms all right. Kevin is ready to make the next Grumpy Old Men movie.
I am?
That's what Chevy says.
Huh. Well, you know, I'd probably fit into that.
I think you would.
It's gonna be the next Walter Matthau.
Didn't he get paid a lot of money?
I mean, he was an actor, probably. We should do Dennis the Menace instead.
Kevin is
Be
Dennis the
Wilson,
Menace.
And I'll be Dennis.
I don't know if that'd work out all that
It's
great.
gonna be a huge hit.
No, Sergeant Zim, ask all of your random leatherworking questions
We
here.
just read about bee eyes.
This is a
Come
perfect
on.
place for your random leather
Safe
questions.
space.
This
It's a
is
pretty good place for any kind of a question.
that is
really.
absolutely true.
Yeah, we got answers. I mean, I can answer every single
Yeah,
question
that's all you
ever
want.
put to me.
Yes,
It might not be very factual,
right, wrong or otherwise.
So far, we've learned today the bees have 5 eyes.
but who cares about facts in a place like this? I mean,
Please ask us a leather related question.
Get us back on track.
I didn't know we were on. Well,
Smoles just watched Grumpy Old Men on Sunday. Holy moly. They put that in quotes.
So, do we ask what Denny's favorite tool brand is?
My what?
Oh, Denny's favorite tooling tool brand.
I don't, we sell some tools that we get made overseas that I like. It depends on the tool itself. I love Barry King tools. I like Clay Miller tools.
There's some Sergey tools that you really like.
Yeah, I like Sergey tools, and I like
Just a
Ivan's.
craft tool, yeah.
Craft tools, yeah.
you know, when I was doing a lot of leather work, I had some very expensive tools. I had some Barry King tools and some other tools by whoever and whoever else. And the reason I had them was because everybody said these are the best tools. So when you go to do leather work, what do you pick up? You pick up the tools that you like.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my $2 special that I got, and I ground the
Yeah.
end off of it to make
Yeah.
a certain thing. And it was back when in the days of the real honest to goodness craft tool, you know how they made those?
Yeah, they machined them.
Well, they cast the head. It was the machine comes in and goes squish, and it gives you a beveler shaped head.
Okay.
And then some guy stood in front of a hair grinder, and he goes, some other guy rounded off the face. You never had two tools that were exactly perfectly alike. So when I did leather work, I bought the tools. I went and looked at it. Oh, I like that one. That's not so square on the face. That's for me. And this one, this is really square. Or this one's kind of narrower on as it gets
Yeah.
down. So I ended up with the tools I wanted
Yeah.
that were all cheap tools. I still got them.
Yeah.
They're wonderful.
Yeah.
And
Well, I've got expensive tools and I've got cheap tools, but
they last just as long.
yeah. Well, it's the ones you like.
Exactly.
That's all there is to it.
Denny, did you grind down that peening tool last week?
Yes, I did.
And how'd it go?
I haven't tried it yet,
Oh, you haven't
but
said
I
anything?
ground it down small enough, but I haven't set a snap with it yet.
All right, Sergeant, ask his question.
All right. I'm trying to make a Bible cover, and I don't know how much overhang I should leave around the edges for stitching. Well, we did a video on this a while ago. I made a book cover for one of my David Copperfield books because I love it. So first of all, you need to measure the cover while it is laying flat. No, I'm sorry. You measure the cover while it's closed with like a tape, like a cloth tape. And then from that, you would add a 1/2 inch to that dimension, and that should give you a 1/4 inch on each side. You do not measure it while it's open. Sorry, we do not measure while it's open because that is a shorter distance than when it's closed. If you measure it while it's open, it's not going to fit when you close the book.
You know what I always did?
What?
I made a lot of book covers, and when I did, I started out with
Did you lace them?
really close to what you're doing. I
Okay.
did it just like you said. You measure around, and I left 5/8
Mhm.
all the way around, and did whatever I was going to do, and that left me room to trim if I needed before you start stitching, and that worked well for me.
Okay.
I think that's a lesson everybody should learn. Give yourself some extra room.
Yeah.
Because you can always cut it down, but it's hard to stretch that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Just make sure that when you do that, you oversize your border so that you're not tooling, like if you're carving it, you're not tooling
Right.
into the border
Right.
that you need to maybe trim off. I like especially if you're sewing, a 1/4 inch should be fine on each side. All the way around. You could go, like, if you're lacing, you might give yourself a little bit more room than that, just because the lacing takes up a little bit more space. But a 1/4 inch, and then just don't over glue, because you don't want it to.
If
Like-
you're stitching, glue it good.
Yeah, but
If
don't
you're
like glue too far in,
Yeah.
to the
Oh,
cover.
right.
You want to make sure that you keep everything pretty within that 1/4 inch or less. No, I think Kevin said that he did at 5/8 of an inch all the way around. So that
Yes.
gave him 5/8 on the top, the bottom, and both sides.
You don't really need 5/8 on the top, but that's
You
just
just-
was simple, you know. But it's important to remember, you need to probably trim it.
You would stitch 1/8 of an inch from the edge. So that 1/4 inch, I usually like to put my seam in the middle of whatever my seam allowance is. So I add a 1/4 inch, and then I'm going to sew it 1/8 inch in from the edge, maybe a little bit farther in. But an 1/8 inch seam allowance is pretty standard on a lot of things. You could go like a 3/16, a little bit wider if you wanted. But I wouldn't do it at the whole 1/4 inch, because that's going to be too tight on the book. It's not leaving any room to expand whenever you have your actual book thickness in there. Can Denny's head knife cut paper, or does he polish the life out of it for it to cut good?
Why would you
My-
want to cut paper?
My good knife I don't use to cut paper with, but I do use a head knife to cut paper patterns sometimes, but not my really good one. I have an old knife that I don't mind if it dulls it up a little bit. But paper will dull your knife for sure.
That is correct, William. It depends. Everything in leatherwork depends.
That's a fact.
Remember the old saying, just like old people's underwear, depends.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, if you have a reason for making whatever design or construction decision that you have for making it, then it's your decision to make. If you want to go a little bit wider because you want to add a pin slot to the spine somehow, or you want to add like an overhang for like a pin loop, or there's just like a million different things that you might do, which might dictate your design and construction be a little bit different than what somebody else is going to do. What are you doing now, Kevin?
I'm doodling.
Oh, cool. Are you trying to doodle a little rabbit?
Yes. I've just, I've never done a rabbit before, so I thought this would be a nice time.
Hey, Tessa. Let's see here. So, red cabbage, onions, apples, some herbs, red wine, and some red currant jelly, and then you let it simmer for a long time. So does it come out sweet, I assume? You got onions and cabbage, and then apples and jelly. Are we sweet? Are we savory? Are we somewhere in the middle?
Dressing the edge of oil tan.
Toconol does work really well. You can paint, depending on how oily it is, you might be able to paint it. If it's super oily, the paint may not stick to it very well. I would say Toconol is probably the best bet.
For what?
Oil tan, leathers,
Oh, yeah.
edging.
There was a new company that bought the Toconol. We just got our shipment in from them.
That company in Japan?
Yeah.
Didn't they come visit us?
They did.
That was nice of them.
And then they sent us Toconol.
And they did.
Well, after we bought it.
Say what?
They sent us Tokenol after we.
Oh,
But
it was three, like, friends, I think it was, and hadn't they been around the leather business, or they were leather crafters, and Tokenol was a product that they used, and then when they went out of business, or whatever was happening with the company,
that seawall.
and then they decided that they were like, Tokenol needs to be a product because it is one of the only things that you can use to burnish oil tan. They felt very strongly about making sure that Tokenol stayed accessible to leather crafters. And so that was their goal.
yeah, they were fairly concerned.
Sweet in the German way. What does that mean?
Not sweet.
Kevin, you went to Germany.
Yes, I did.
Is that not, their sweet things aren't particularly sweet?
Yeah, it's just different.
Does it have like warmth? I mean, I assume it's a little bit chillier there than it is here, just on a regular basis. So a little.
I don't really know. It was pretty nice when I was there. I was there several times.
Oh, it's the German way to make red cabbage.
I'm not a big German food person. I mean, it's okay. Some things are really good. Some things are otherwise.
I do like some sauerkraut.
See, I'm not big into that.
You're not a sauerkraut fan? You're from the north?
Well, not really.
That surprises me.
I don't know why.
Denny, how do you feel about sauerkraut?
I like sauerkraut.
I love sauerkraut. I do like sour things, though. I love, what's a sandwich? A Reuben.
A Reuben sandwich.
I love
yeah.
a Reuben. I like to put provolone on it, though, instead of Swiss, because I don't really love Swiss.
If I go to Arby's, I always get their
The Reuben.
Reuben.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty darn good.
I love some Thousand Island.
Put a fried egg on it.
The fried
Where did
egg.
you get your Reuben at, Denny?
At Arby's,
Oh.
give them my address so they can send the check.
Yeah, provolone on a Reuben is pretty delicious. Get it all toasty and bubbly.
Actually, I can kind of eat a Reuben. I like them sort of.
So as long as the sauerkraut's in something, it works.
It's gotta be good. That's
Yeah.
the issue.
Does the Reuben have bacon on it? Not any that I've ever had.
No, not that I'm aware of either.
I mean, you can put whatever. It's your sandwich. You sandwich however you need a sandwich. I love a sandwich. We've got right down the street from us, like 2 blocks, there's this, like, the tiniest building ever. Like, it might be as big as half of the studio.
I think that's too big.
Like, literally, like, where we're sitting, where the table is. I think that's the size of this tiny little building. And there's 2 people in there. It's called the Sub Shop. And it only accepts cash. There's an ATM. You come in, you place your order. They hand you your sandwich about 5 minutes later. And then you walk out the door. And it's just, there's just enough room to turn around and leave. But they've got, like, a meatball sub and a Reuben that I love. They're pretty spectacular.
I like the fighter pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Where is this?
It's just, you know where the,
Across the street from the National Cemetery
yeah.
Oh,
on Seminole.
Just make sure you got 20.
never been there.
You wanna
It's
go today?
fantastic.
No.
Okay.
The only problem, Kevin, is you can't eat there. And
You
there's
know-
no cute old ladies to give you a hard time.
Oh,
Speechless.
So you're telling me that it takes a cute old lady to give me a hard time. Where do you fit into this?
Well, I'll be one of those one day.
Oh,
I'm just getting it in first. I'm getting it in before
you're
I hit
practicing.
the old part.
You're learning how to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I have a quaint little place that I really like to eat, a upon occasion, and it's not far. And they have a cod sandwich that is just amazing.
Quaint little place.
He doesn't go there very often. It's a treat when he does.
Yeah, it's always a treat when I go there.
And it's filled with plenty of little old ladies that give him
They
a
have
hard
good
time.
soup. Can't fuss about that.
Do they have cheese curds there?
Yes.
Custard?
Yeah, now that I think about it.
The fat raisins.
Does anybody take a guess at this cute little place that we're talking about?
I think it's
Everybody knows
It's
it.
French.
It's French. It is French.
It's French,
Yeah.
and you have to say it correctly.
Well,
Some might think
It
it's
goes
from
with my
Wisconsin,
updo
but it's
today.
not. It's not Wisconsin.
it's actually, one of them is located in the French shopping quarter. We have Target
Oh yeah.
and Culver's.
COVID.
It's a shame we don't have to go all the way to Target anymore for our Culver's.
Well, they've expanded. I mean, those people are on the move.
Yeah, they realized that they had a closer market.
They're taking over the world of connoisseurship.
They realized they had a steady market. Sorry.
You're okay. Waffle House?
You have to be witty to eat there.
I love Waffle
Well,
House.
at least I do. Waffle House.
I do. There's a bunch of cute old ladies in there, but they're sassy. I mean, our Culver's ladies are pretty sassy too.
Well, I will say, my wife just loves the Waffle House.
Does she? That's because
And
she knows what's good stuff.
I will say that it's kind of handy if you want to eat breakfast, because you can actually order something with bacon and you can read the newspaper through the bacon. And
Is that what she does? She holds it up just as like a fun trick?
Doesn't get in the way.
well, you gotta get the grease off it, so you lay it on the paper. It soaks up the grease, and then you can be reading the paper at the same
Through
time.
the... Gotcha. Oh, Latigo, that's terrible. You need to move.
Huh?
Latigo lives 350 miles away from a Waffle House. That's his closest Waffle House. You
Okay.
gotta move.
I gotta change the subject.
No, please.
Daffy Duck and Elmer Fudd broke into a distillery. They got inside and Daffy looked into one of the vats. He says, "Is this whiskey?"
Only if something
Elmer
falls
says,
on you.
"It's whiskey, but not as bad as robbing a bank."
Choked up on his tea.
I did.
That unsweet tea ain't going down too good right now.
God, I don't like whiskey. You took a drink at the wrong time, Kevin.
I know. I didn't know this was a whiskey.
That was a very whiskey decision. Oh, God.
Bye. Have fun with your cabbage. Send us a bowl.
Goodness sakes.
Chevy's dying. He said, then he got jokes. Paul says, I love Waffle House, but I've been advised to never drink the orange juice. I do, so we went there a few weeks ago. Our friend Joe was in town, and we decided to go out for breakfast on Sunday morning. And so we go to Waffle House, and Chris always gets the steak and eggs. And we're looking at this new menu that they have, and there's no steak and eggs. And Chris is like, what am I gonna
What
get?
are we even doing here?
Yeah. And so then the lady comes over, and he was just like, and she asked us if we were ready. And he's like, well, I normally get the steak and eggs, but it's not on the menu anymore. And then she's kind of looked at me. She's like, oh, we can do that. And I was like, well, then what's the point of not having, if you have whole steak back there, what's the point of not advertising it if you're buying it? So,
It's called the secret menu.
I know. So anyways, he was very thrilled to find out that they still had steak and eggs. So
Because if you go to Chicago cheesesteak, you can ask for the secret menu there. They got all sorts of good things there on the secret menu.
They don't want to make it, but they will if you make them.
I told you guys the joke about the 2 baby skunks, didn't I? Didn't I do that
I don't
here?
think so.
2 skunks, one was named the baby skunks. One was named In, one was named Out. You didn't hear that?
No. Tell us about In and Out.
Well, they were inside. Mama Skunk was fixing supper, and she says, In, why don't you and Out go outside and play? So In and Out went out, and they were playing, and we got time for supper. Mama Skunk yells out the door, come on in. It's time for supper. So Out just came right in, but In did not. So Mama Skunk looked at Out and said, Out, you need to go out and get In and bring In in. So Out ran out and in a flash was back with In. And Mama Skunk said, Out, how did you get In to come in so quickly? How did you find In? Out says, instinct.
Instinct.
I thought that was kind of fun.
Wildly impressive. There's no way I can tell that joke. I would get lost.
Clip it. Oh, Cobra, I do hope it helped. I asked Kevin for his advice too before I emailed you back. So hopefully you got it all figured out.
I didn't do anything wrong, did I?
You never do anything wrong.
Oh, phew. Wish you'd tell that to Becky.
I'll let her know next time she's in.
Thanks.
You know, we got a lot of skunks out front. You should divide them into In and Out skunks. We'll never sell the In skunks, but we might sell all the Out skunks.
That's pretty good. We could put a sign out there by those skunk hides.
Tell him your joke.
Ask about the skunk joke.
All right, Isaac, you're up. You gotta make that a short on YouTube. We got a request. Do your job.
I already clipped it up.
Good.
But I'll make a new clip. Shortly. Or me.
Sweet and sour shrimp with pineapple. That does sound amazing. We went, so there is, if you like Chinese food, there is a restaurant that's not very far from here called Corner 21. It's this teeny tiny little building, but it has some of the most like authentic Chinese food.
Hold on, Scott.
It's on my list to try.
You can get, but they just opened a new one where on Republic Road, right next to your apartment. Well, this was the first one, so right here on Fremont and Sunshine, which is the original. But then they just opened that one, and Chris and I took Matt there 2 weeks ago, and they had fried pork, which were like these little strips, like just really thinly fried strips of pork that were like maybe 1.5 inches by 2 inches long, like just nice edible things, covered in sweet and sour sauce. It was the most delicious thing. It was so good. And they had some pork buns that were pretty delicious. We had a good meal.
Scott has a question.
Yes, Scott.
How do you sharpen hole punches?
Carefully? Ha ha ha. That was pretty good.
Sharpen them in a circular motion.
Well, yeah, and a lot depends on
Would
the
you
dumb
do a burnish?
punch.
Like, would you do a burnishing machine? Is that the easiest way? Or
Yeah,
like
if
a-
you're
It
on a
all
machine,
depends
if
on the
you're-
punch and how
Yeah.
badly it needs.
Yeah.
If
Did
it's
you
got-
really mess it up? Like, did you hit it on some granite, or are we talking about just polishing it out?
If you're on a stone, you would go like this.
Yes.
Oh, can you go the overhead, Tony?
You
Okay.
just twist it as you do, and try to be symmetrical about it and get all sides.
You're gonna
you know?
twist and shout.
Yeah, twist and shout.
Okay.
If there's a little chunk out of it, if it's just a little chunk, then you can take it out that way.
Yeah.
If it's a bigger chunk,
Buy a new punch.
Yeah.
really that's
They're like $10,
You
and
can
you're
put
gonna.
it, yeah, you can put it on a grinder and flatten the whole thing off down to where the chunk is gone. But then you've got a lot of sharpening, a lot of grinding to do to get it back.
Are you a
down to
knife
an
maker?
edge.
With most punches, I found, not all, and probably not for these folks, because they kind of semi know what they're doing. But with most punches, they don't realize that it's very important to have one of these stops. Because if you take a punch just right off the wall, any kind, if it's painted, you punch a hole, that punch is gonna stick coming out of the leather. But if you drop that, like Denny said, and remove some of that paint, oh boy, life becomes pleasant.
And so Osborne also makes those sharpening sticks
Yeah.
that I think we sell. I feel like they're like $30 or something,
I
and
hope
you can
not.
get
I don't want one.
one of those sharpening sticks. Can you use that for the punch? Because they're tapered.
Well, you can, but they're horribly delicate. They break if you look at them wrong,
Yeah.
and I would not.
So you would just
If
stick
you
with
just
a
get
flat strap.
A round jeweler's file will do about the same thing.
Yeah, and really,
know?
it's the outside edge that's important. The inside edge is not so.
Yeah, because
Unless
the
you've
punch,
rolled it
the
in.
punch, you're
Yes,
more
maybe.
or less bulldozing it through the leather anyway. You know.
Yeah, you use one of these big hammer things.
Yeah, use a something solid with of course a piece of rubber or polyboard on top of that, and just drive that sucker through. It doesn't have to be razor sharp.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem with those cone shaped sharpener tools that you have. You're gonna open up your hole diameter little by little every time you start sharpening.
Well, you do that with everything.
Right. I was gonna say, like, you polish the outside of it, but you're not really messing with the inside because you don't need it to cut through your finger. You need to drive it through leather.
Right.
It's a drive tool, not a cutting tool.
Make sure that you have a poly cutting board. If you're like hole punching, don't hole punch into poundo. That's not going to be the best on your tool. So you want to make sure that you have a granite slab and then at least a 1/4 inch thick piece of a poly cutting board to drive into. And that will keep your tool the best it can be as long as you're using, or for as long as the lifespan of the tool lasts. Latigo says he trucks into drill motor and file it or use a stone. Well, that would.
Yeah.
You probably put it in a drill and then use the strap with it.
That works really good. Goes fast.
Look at all those tiny little cuts.
Yeah, they're just absurd.
Absurd. Nope, I don't like that.
No, it's on manual focus. Look at that jumping around everywhere.
I got that.
And a lot of them are really, that could take a person forever.
Michael, that sounds like really expensive wrapping paper. He said, who made leather wrapping paper? I don't.
No, did he sign it?
Some
And all the
tannery.
little marks?
Some tannery. Thought it'd go over big.
We make some splits.
You know, I think I'm getting pretty kind of close to done, sort of, pretty much. Mostly.
About as done as I'm gonna.
Kevin, did you put a sneaky KH on here?
Oh,
Nope.
no, I forgot.
Good call, Tony. Good call.
Chevy said something about it. I can't take the credit.
Absolutely, Michael. That's what we'll do.
Sheesh. There's no place to put one.
You got all sorts
That
of
is
open
true,
space
Michael.
there.
Okay. That's sort of one.
Sort of one. It's approximately one.
It's like 0.8953
Percent.
Huh.
Yeah.
of one.
Oh,
Latigo, the latest on the catalog is Stacy got everything compiled, all the changes that Lindsay and I had made over the course of this year, and I have the book binder sitting on my desk. So I am hoping that here in either this week or next week we will have the second edit finished up. We'll read through it, make sure there isn't anything else that we're missing. The stuff that we find, we'll get that fixed. And then the goal is to send it to the printer at some point in January or by the 1st of January. So that's where we're at. The major part of it is complete. I think hardware almost killed me and Lindsay, but we made it through. Good gracious, Kevin, could it be any smaller?
yeah. All I got's this big
Could
knife.
it be any smaller?
There's my bunny.
Oh, that's adorable.
That is nice.
Oh, look at him.
Looks like a bunny.
It does.
Well, I can tell I'm gonna have to actually sharpen my swivel knife at some point. I've been putting it off,
It's probably
I'm
because
polishing
it's
it.
probably because I used it.
but you what?
What? Yeah, I used it last week when I needed to carve that lily. Look how cute that little bunny is. I love it. I like the little hash marks.
Hmm.
There you go.
I was gonna go get my lunch so I can put my stuff in it so I can go to Grant and pick out our leather for tomorrow.
Gotcha.
I need to go over there too and see.
You guys can go
You
together.
want to swing by Waffle House on our way?
Or
I
Colbert's.
go to a different Waffle House.
I'll go to whichever one.
I go to the French one.
I ain't
Yeah.
scared. I ain't scared of driving. Oh, you want to
Show
go to
my knife.
Colbert's?
Yeah, gross.
That's pretty nice.
It's an old knife.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do, Isaac, is you just need a compilation of Kevin spinning his knives.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
What's his
Oh,
Oh.
What's his face? Dan took my truck. Oh, I guess he's gonna go visit some Amish customers or whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
he said he was going to what's his face?
I hope he what?
To
What's his face?
what's his face that he's been going to see?
Oh, yeah, Sam or whatever.
Sam.
It
It
was
wasn't that hard.
I told Caroline I hope he's got money for gas because I don't.
You're like,
What's in there?
fill her up. Well, I guess maybe
Okay.
he looked at that before he left and maybe got with Chris or
We
something.
can all be hopeful.
Sure.
I am going to go to Culver's if you wish to go, and then we could go to Grant.
You may drive. You said you don't have your truck.
Well, no, it might not be good because you're going to spend more time at Grant than I am. I'm going to walk in there and say I want this, that, and this, and you're going to walk in there and wander around.
Well, no, I gotta unstack that one skid in a crewman hour
Well,
and pick all the good stuff out of it and leave you the rubbish.
I don't want you to take all the good stuff out of it. I told them I wanted.
So it sounds like
2,000
Kevin's gonna go over there and help you sort that pallet.
Well, I gotta get there before you because I don't have time to take a long
I
one.
told them I wanted
probably won't
3,000 feet off of that one pallet, so I just pulled it off the top, and that's what I want.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, because
No, I restack the pallet. Don't. You'll get brown and black if you get 8,000 feet off the top.
I don't want 8,000. I want 3,000.
Okay. Well, it'll still be brown and black.
Well, I need to have an assortment.
That's why I said I gotta go over there and unstack it. We'll
Okay.
get to the beginning of the conversation again, Kevin.
Okay. Well, you have
All
a
right, you're on your way.
have a lovely time.
Okay.
I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna go whackety whack.
Kevin has an epiphany. Michael said, Kevin, that for your next trading card, you could do the Skunk Brothers. You could do it like you did the bunny, but with 2 skunks.
I'll consider it.
I'll find you a little line drawing of 2 skunks together. And then you can bedazzle it however floats your boat.
Oh yeah, you could put. I could put those happy little white lines on it
Yeah,
with a swivel knife.
you sure could. I love it, Michael.
Just don't hold your breath. You'll die.
Chevy, do you have a preference between the whatever this is and the rabbit? I guess we could send you both. Surprise me.
Oh, Well, that was kind of nice. I like what that did.
Did that
It
did that make it?
homey.
Yes, that homed it.
It homed it right in.
That's good.
All right. All right, guys. Well, Denny's just over here doing some bar grounding, so we'll let him. I guess
I'm
you
done
finished.
bar grounding.
Let's look at Denny's real fast before we go.
It's not near done, but beveled and bar grounding.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Very nice.
So Denny will finish that up. And Chevy, thank you for my lizard. I'm not tooling today. For you. Let's see.
Mine before
Kevin
I
didn't
forget.
do a third one. He just did the two. He did the bunny and once again, whatever this is.
That was practice.
That was practice for the bunny.
I got to learn to do that one better because I don't like that one very much.
Your practice one?
The
Yeah.
bunny?
No, this one.
Oh.
But that's okay.
I mean, it still looks good.
Yeah, it's okay, but I see now what I could have did better. So next time.
Next time he'll did better. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Tony and I will be making bundies tomorrow on live shopping. If you want to join us at 2 p.m. Central for that. And then on Friday, we will be doing a round table with or without Kevin. Bye.
See ya.